Hello boys and girls, men and women. My name is Guvan Aga. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not new, welcome again. So I have gotten a lot of questions regarding visa process, school application in Switzerland, and I have decided to do a video. So today's video is going to be about an easy way to apply to Switzerland as an international student. So sit back, enjoy and relax. I have all your questions down and I'm going to be answering the video. So before further ado, let's get started. So this video is going to be divided into three parts. The first part, I'm going to be talking about applying to school, to Swiss schools, what you need to know, the various kinds of schools that they have, and everything that is required when you're applying for a school. The second part is going to be the visa process, and then the third part is going to be the accommodation and feeding expenses, everything you need to know about money in Switzerland. So if you see me looking down, I do be having my notes, so do not worry. So applying to Swiss schools, we not me, they have a lot of schools here, and there are about 26 cantons in Switzerland. For every canton here, most cantons have universities first of all, and then take note that Switzerland has 4 national languages. So there's German, there's French, there's Italian, and then there's Romansh. So for every university in a particular canton, that language, sometimes in English and their language, but mostly in the language of the canton. So I'm going to be giving an example. Let's say the University of Bern. The University of Bern is in Bern, and in Bern they speak German, right? So they're going to be teaching in German and in English. Sometimes you can find courses that do some percentage, for instance 70% of German. Okay, so as I was saying about the languages, you should take note of the language requirements for the various schools in the different cantons. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is applying either as a continuing education, or you're applying like for masters for the very first time. For instance, you've done another masters before, so if you're applying to masters here, you're going to apply as a continuing, like as for continuing education, and then if you're applying for the first time, it's just the first time, okay? And then they also require the language requirement, because as I said earlier, there are schools that they do not teach their courses 100% in English. You can find some courses 100% in English, but they would also list it if they have other languages, because here they take very seriously their culture. So you have to find out and be very sure what you're getting into. So if you for the courses that are 100% in English, for instance in Nigeria, I did my bachelor's 4 years in English. So for that you do not need to write a language test, because they do be needing I need to start speaking this English. They require a language efficiency, so you need to have your English ready. So for the courses that are taken in English, they need a proof of English if your bachelor's was not already taught in English. So for that, you just need to give them an evidence that you have taken your bachelor's in English. Sorry, I forgot that I did not mention my school. I schooled at the World Trade Institute of the University of Bern. So it's a different school from the University of Bern, but we took some courses from the University of Bern and then our own courses. So that's why I know a bit about the University of Bern, and I'm talking more from their requirements for application. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the grading scale. So the Swiss has a grading scale from 1 to 6 ECTS. I have to put that on the screen because I've forgotten what that means. 1 from 6 is like excellent, like really excellent, and then 5.5 is very good, 5 is good, 4 is unsatisfactory, and then from 3 below, that's a fail grade and you have to retake the course. So the thing about retaking the course here is that, because in my school in Nigeria, if you retake a course, it's called carryover, and at the end of the day your transcript is going to show that, oh, you carried over this course. But here it's not like that. If you retake a course, it doesn't show that it's a retaking course, it just shows the grade. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the online application. If you want to apply, you can apply online. You can apply during the fall season or the spring season, and for the different durations of your course, it can either take 1 year, 1.5 years, or 2 years. That would also determine the kind of visa they give you, but I'm going to talk about that later on. So if you go to their website, for instance, the University of Bern, the modules are there. You have your compulsory modules, your elective modules, you have seminars, and then to graduate, you need to write a thesis, a master's thesis. Some schools give the advantage of doing something else, but mostly you have to write a master's thesis. And the supporting documents that you need to apply online, it's your, first of all, you apply online, you finish the application, and then after that they send you a declaration. You download a declaration of consent form, and then you have your motivation letter. When you're applying this, you just tell them why you want to study in the school, what exactly you want to do with a degree, afterwards, why they should admit you. If you've applied for a job, you definitely know what motivation letter or cover letter is. So you also have to submit your school transcripts. I submitted my school transcripts stating, it basically states the number of courses or modules you did in your bachelor's, and the grades that you had, and the final grade that you graduated with. And then also you submit your CV, your curriculum vitae. It's important that you make that. And they also require photocopies of your degree, and depending on the course that you want to do, you have to write a GMAT. I know that for business administration, Masters of Business Administration at the University of Bern, they require you to write a GMAT, either a GMAT or a GRE. Not for all the courses, but you need to check whether you are required to write a GMAT or a GRE to submit the score. And then the last thing is your valid passport or your official identity card. That is also important. Now, after you have applied, they are going to confirm your application, and they are going to send, you are required to pay an application fee. So take note that this application fee is non-refundable. So whether you want to go to the school at the end of the day or not, you are going to pay, and it's not refundable. So make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into before you start the application, because without the application fee, your application will not be processed. I think that's just basically why they do that. So one thing I also want you to know is that the application process is very simple and easy. I did everything myself. If you have questions, just reach out to the admissions office or admissions unit, and they're going to answer your questions, okay? And then we're going to move on to the second part of this video. So the second part, I'm going to talk about the visa process. I remember I applied for my visa, and you do not need a traveling agency to apply for this visa. You can apply for it yourself, okay? I applied for this visa in July of 2020. By October of 2020, I already got my visa. So it literally takes 3 months. So make sure that you calculate from when the session is starting, and then you apply. And sorry, I also forgot to say that you need to watch out for the deadline, because the schools also have deadlines. So after the deadline, you pay a late application fee, which is higher than the normal application fee. So you need to see for when your deadline is for your particular course or school. So we're going to talk about the visa process. When I applied for the visa, like I said, I got it in October, so I didn't have any issues with the visa. But before you apply for the visa, you need proof of accommodation. Now, I have a video on student accommodation in Switzerland. I'm going to link it up here. Please go check it out. I have said everything about the accommodation, the cost, what it looks like. I showed you everything there, so make sure to go there. And if you're watching and you haven't liked this video, what are you doing? What, you're wasting my time. That's what you're doing. You just want to waste my time. Can you like, please? And can you subscribe? Thank you. Okay, let's get into it. So you need a proof of accommodation. You get an accommodation because you're going to have to send them the documents when you're also applying for the visa. You do not need to apply for health insurance until you get here, so don't worry about health insurance. So there's a question about paying, because when you're coming to school here, it is required that for every month that you stay here, for every month of the duration of your studies, you have money to cater to your needs. So in Switzerland, they have stipulated 1,500 Swiss francs a month, or 1,500 Swiss francs a month. So if your studies, like for me, my studies was for 1 year, so 1,500 times 12 months, it is 18,000 francs. So I got this question a lot, and many people were asking me about I don't get the question a lot. It's only like 2 people that asked me. But anyway, you do I didn't have to show proof of that money in my account, because my guardian had my guardian had written that he would cater to my needs, and then he also had proof of his bank details and bank accounts and everything. Your guardian can also do that for you, because there are 2 choices. I think people don't really see it because maybe they don't pay attention, because they said it's either you have 18,000 francs in your bank account, or you have a guardian that can, and obviously he has to show proof that he has the money to send you here. So when you come here, you have to report to the Swiss authorities in 14 days that you have arrived, and then you apply for your residence permit. You apply for your residence permit and other things that they need you to apply for. But when you come here, you have to get health insurance. Health insurance is mandatory and compulsory. But the thing for international students is that you can apply for exemption from mandatory or compulsory health insurance. So when I was a student, I used to pay 60 francs per month for health insurance. I'm going to leave it in the USD and Naira currency, so you know how much that is. 60 francs. But I know someone that lives here, he's not a student, he pays 300 francs. So the difference is a lot. The non-compulsory health insurance, I think, starts from 300 upwards, but if you're an international student, you can get exemption. So that is that about health insurance. So for scholarships, I wasn't on scholarships, so I do not know a lot, and I cannot give you like more information on that, but I would leave the link in the comment section, so please just check out the scholarships there. Okay, the third part of this video is accommodation and feeding expenses, but I feel like I've already given that information. So I'm just going to reiterate that for accommodation, I have a link up here that you can watch and know all about living in Switzerland. If you come here and you haven't been in Europe before, or you haven't been in Switzerland before, it's definitely going to be like shocking. I would say shocking, yeah, because it's very different from where you used to stay. A lot of things are different, things are, so that is that. And the feeding expenses, I've already said, food is really extremely highly expensive in Switzerland, especially in Geneva. And here again, it depends on where you stay. If you stay, some cantons are cheaper than other cantons, so it depends on where you stay, but ultimately food is expensive. Beef, when I came here, I didn't eat beef for like 6 months, and I've never bought beef in Switzerland ever, because it is the most expensive thing. It is so expensive. Even Swiss people hardly buy beef. They eat beef maybe two times a week or something. So it is really expensive. Do all your research. Make sure that you do your research yourself. Don't ask, like, you can ask questions, you can, but make sure to do the research. Every information you need, it's online. You don't need to go anywhere looking for information. It's online. Send them emails, they'll respond to you. So I guess we've come to the end of this video. I have answered all the questions that I think are necessary. I have touched on everything. I don't see anything that I am leaving out here. But if you have more questions, please ask me. Put the questions in the comment section. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. And there are and about the health insurance, if you just think, because I was also thinking, if you think that you would not okay, let me give an instance so you get what I'm saying. First of all, right, so when I came, I didn't get health insurance until I think 1 month later. And then to my ultimate shock, when I got the health insurance, they backdated the payment. Like, they would calculate from the very first day that you come here. So if you come here the first day and you apply for insurance in 4 months, you are going to pay from the first day that you came. So in case you wanted to be smart, just in case you wanted to be smart, I just wanted to tell you that it will not work here. You have to pay your health insurance. It is very mandatory, very compulsory. Hello boys and girls, men and women, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Govan Faith and I welcome you to another video. If you are a returning, oh my god,